Disclaimer, this episode contains talk of sexuality, sex, and kinks. Please watch at your own discretion. Thanks.
Hey y'all, this is Dee.
This is Shelby,
and we're from Bxtch, Please. Welcome back. This is episode
welcome.
6.
I think this is episode 6.
This is why do I act like it's such a hard time to count to 6?
Because here's the thing, though, is because our life has been wild and crazy, and we've been so busy that honestly, I even forgot that we just released episode 5.
Definitely did. And it's so funny because we were talking, what was it, Wednesday? And we were like, I just don't understand.
I know. It's only been 5 episodes. This is now episode 6.
Episode 6.
I'm pretty excited. Well, as you can see, we are in a different setup right now.
We are.
Yes.
We are.
We're
in a radio station, y'all.
We are in a radio station. We are in a whole radio station right now.
Yeah.
Look at us.
Look at us
in a radio station.
Doing things.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah. Doing things.
Doing all the things.
Yeah.
We're official.
We're getting there. We're working on it.
We're trying. We're going to actually be using this spot primarily for like when we have guests and stuff like that on here.
For sure.
We do love the couch vibe. But we'll definitely be using this when we have like more, official people on here.
For sure. So before we get started with anything today.
Yes.
Where are your screws?
They are a little all over the place.
Same.
They're just a little all over the place. I was a little emotional in the car, feeling some type of way, but like not a bad way, but just kind of like some self-realization.
Yeah.
And then we came in here and this setup took an hour and a half. So like I'm a little like, but I'm also really excited at the same time.
For sure.
So it's just like there's a lot of emotions going on in my brain. And my screws are not all together.
Fair.
They feel like they're trying to get back together, but they're not quite all together.
Yeah.
What about you, though? Where you at?
My screws they're just kind of rolling about. They're inside.
They're there.
But them hoes is rolling about. I was a little emotional today.
Yeah.
I'm having one of those days of just I don't want to say self-hate, but just having a little bit of being a little down on myself today.
Yeah. It happens.
It does happen. My screws are a little bit all over the place. I just kind of feel away today.
Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to get out of that place. Yeah.
No, I get it.
So
I understand.
Yeah. We're here though, and I'm excited to be
here.
here. This is a really cool new spot. Definitely cool, like the equipment and stuff.
The whole vibe in here is really nice.
It's really dope.
I hate the fucking lighting.
Yeah, the lighting's not the greatest.
But we did our best with our own lighting.
Yeah, it's really cool. It is definitely a different setup, and it's really nice.
I know.
Honestly,
you know what I don't like though? I don't like the fact that you're way the fuck over there.
I know. I feel so far
like
away.
You're so far. And I just want you
because we're
right
normally
next to me.
we're staring at you in your face.
I'm touching you. You're touching me. We're punching each other. We're just being stupid.
Yeah. No, but it is cool.
It's different.
I'm excited to be in this.
Yeah.
The setup was a lot longer than I expected, but a lot of good information.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff.
This is gonna be cool for guests for sure.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited about it.
Me too. And it keeps us from having to get, some of that extra equipment that we were concerned about.
Mm-hmm. And shout out to John Q for helping us set this all up.
Yeah, for sure.
And doing this. He's pretty dope for doing that. So
yeah, thanks, man.
Thanks, bro.
All right. So do you want to talk about what we were talking about in the car?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so I came to the realization in the car. Like just thinking about it, because I hopped up on these apps again. So I don't want to say again, but like I went through my divorce and did all that, and went through a whole situationship and did all that, and got on the apps probably like a couple weeks ago, and I just started realizing I really can just pull me some good looking dudes.
Sis been popping, y'all. She trying to be light. Sis been popping.
I'm just like,
let's just talk about it. Sis been popping.
Like I just thought, like I went on a date today, And I was like, this man is so fine. And I did not expect to even match with him, like in any way. Did not expect to match with him. Like, I be swiping and I'm like, ain't no way we're matching. Boom, we match. Ain't no way we're matching. Boom, we match. And I'm just like, I'm out here thinking to myself, like, because I got out of a marriage from a man who, well, I'm just going to say it. He is not on my level. He is not in my league. He's not on my level. He was definitely beneath, in a totally different level. And the thing is like, I thought at the time, like, that's what I could get, you know, like that was it. Like I thought so little of myself, and I don't mean that in any disrespect to him. But I just did. I thought so little of myself.
Respectfully.
I'm respectfully disrespecting.
Disrespectfully
respecting. Respectfully, bitch.
Respectfully.
Anyways, but no, I mean, it's just like, I didn't think I had such little self-respect. Like, I just didn't think I could. Like, and coming up on these apps, like, I realized, like, I am a bad bitch, even with my situationship. I'm like, what? I settled for that? I thought that was good for me? Like, no, I like the date I went on today. Great fucking guy. Really nice dude. Just like a really overall nice dude. And I'm just like, I didn't think that I could actually like meet somebody like that. But I'm also just meeting cool people in general.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting to know new people and just meeting new people and realizing like, oh, these people like art. These people like this. These people like that. Like, it's cool. Like, it's just a cool way to like talk to people. But also, like, I am a fucking bad bitch. I have been on like this whole, I don't know,
it's been really like uplifting.
Yeah,
like a little bit of an ego boost.
A little bit of an ego boost for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Because I don't know, I guess, I don't know, I think my whole life I didn't ever think that I was like that type of girl. And that I, you know, the people that I did have like crushes on when I was younger.
Girl, why am I starting to get emotional?
The
Can't today.
It's okay. The people that I did think that I was attracted to, I didn't think I could get, and so I never tried. So it's like the fact that I'm out here just like, you know what, fuck it, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that goes back to that being in your 30s and just not giving a fuck and
not
just being like, fuck it, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and just being like, we'll see what goes on.
And it's just wild. I don't know. I mean, I was getting my confidence back after I got out of the situationship.
For sure.
I was like definitely getting my confidence back and like just kind of really deprogramming a lot of the bullshit that I went through with that and with my divorce.
Yeah.
So it was, you know, it's just been, I don't know. Sorry, I'm rambling now.
No,
but
you're
it's just
good.
been wild. I just feel so
like free,
sexy,
yeah,
and like just being like, this is me, bitch. And
yeah,
like, you know, and just like out here, like,
I love
very
that.
confident.
No, I love that. And honestly, you could see from like when I first met you to like now, you could just see the change in how you dress, how you feel about yourself, like how you move. Like you can see the change. Yeah, you can really see the change. I'm like, yes, bitch, you better be out here.
No.
Pull these people, pull them.
Pull that man and that woman.
Yeah.
I be pulling all the people.
Girl, pulling all the people, which is like,
it's wild.
It's great to be able to feel that. Like, I understand what you mean about having that. Like, you didn't ever think, so you just didn't try.
Yeah.
Because I totally get that. I felt the same about myself for a long time and just didn't even try with people.
Yeah.
And then realized, like, damn, I probably should have tried this whole time and just never did.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny that you're like going for it now because like fuck it.
Yeah,
it works.
Like,
it works.
it
doesn't. It doesn't.
Like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Like I'm just out here, and the thing is I think I feel good. I think I feel really good about it because I'm just having more confidence in myself in general. So I'm like I'm feeling really good. Sorry, that distracted the fuck
scared
out of
the
me.
mess out of me.
It's like somebody just walked by and I just was like, who the fuck? I'm not used to.
It's
doing
really
this
weird.
with
This
people.
big ass window.
I was like, please don't look at me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I'm more confident and I like it. And I think because I think I'm just having more self-love.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm just having a lot more self-love and, you know, I'm getting to that point where I don't feel like I need anybody. I could take it or leave it as long as I'm good, as long as my mental health is good, as long as my overall health is good, as long as I'm feeling good. Like, I don't care about what anybody else is doing or how they're doing or whatever. And that's not to be like, you know, fuck the world, but that's just like, this is my bubble, this is my peace, and I'm going to protect it.
Absolutely.
You know, to the best of my ability. And that's just like, I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's
from
beautiful.
I went from trolls to kings. So
first of all, yes, all of that,
real.
yes, all of that, yes, because yes,
because yes, 100%.
and anyway, because I'm not gonna blow up his spot, but like, definitely came up.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Never even met this man,
I know,
but
like I said, trolls to kings, girl, trolls to kings, and queens.
Yeah.
And everybody in between.
Yeah. First of all, you okay with sharing like how we went through your profile and like and selecting? Okay. Yes. So if you guys want to have like a fun little date with your homies and you're like, if somebody's back on the apps, a screen mirror to your TV
100%.
and get the whole gang involved.
The whole gang.
get everybody
some
involved.
Wine, sit down and just start swiping.
Everybody can give their opinions, their inputs on who yes or no, and you just swipe as a team.
Yep. Swipe as a whole team.
As a collective.
It was so cathartic.
We had so much fun. The giggles, like we were cackling. We had such a blast.
And we saw that one dude that we know.
Yes, girl.
That was wild. It was like the second person that popped up. I was like, you fucking lying. I thought he was married.
He is married.
Oh, that's right. He is married.
It was him and his wife.
Oh, that's right. It was. I forgot. I was thinking it was just him.
No.
It was him and his wifey. Yeah. No judgment. Have your thing. Do your thing. Like, but also just was a little shocking because, just the timing of it all.
Yeah, it was super funny.
Yeah.
But it's a fun time, guys. If you ever want to do that,
100%.
Swipe with your homies.
Absolutely.
Great time.
Such a fun time.
It's so funny.
Yeah. It was a good time.
It was a good time. So today, what we wanted to discuss, we want to talk about that, absolutely.
Yeah.
But one of the things that we wanted to discuss, and we kind of mentioned it before in a previous episode where I think we kind of talked about it, about like sexuality.
Yeah.
And just, where we stand, what we think, how we feel. So we just want to share that with you guys. Y'all really get to know a lot about us.
Yes.
That y'all probably shouldn't be knowing a lot about us like this,
listen,
but hey, we open.
We are going to be open.
So
we're always going to be open and we're going to tell y'all because that was the whole point of us making this podcast is like you and me would sit down and just be open, raw and honest with each other about all the, nasty, dirty shit and the beautiful things and the crazy things and whatever. And it was like, damn, I bet other people could also benefit from this too.
Yeah, can relate.
Like, I would love to just do that. Like have other people listen.
Absolutely.
So today we are talking about
sexuality
amongst sex and kinks and all the good things in between.
All the good things.
See, this is how you know I've been around you for too long. You
I'm over here like,
yes, just jamming, making my own little tune, to my own little jig.
You gotta have your own little jingle.
Make my own little theme song.
You got to.
Anyways, so. What about
Sorry.
Take your time.
Okay.
Take your time.
Whew.
Pull it in. Reel it back in.
I'm back.
All right, here we go. All
right.
So how did you kind of realize your sexuality and where you were with that and how did your parents take it and all that? Like where did that start for you?
So I feel like as far as my sexuality, I don't really think I thought too heavily on it, but I was young. So I remember being really young and being like, hey, I'm around a lot of girls. This is cool. Like we're going to see what this was about.
Yeah.
And we just kind of, did things together. And again, super young. So, some people are like, oh, it's just kind of a phase, but it never really went anywhere. It never really went away. It was just kind of a thing. And then as I got older, you kind of start dating, I don't know. Yes, it is dating when you're in high school and middle school and stuff like that. But when you're in middle school, junior high, it's are you really dating?
Are you really?
You know what I mean?
Are you really though?
So you date, and it's normally just, at the time, it was just guys because that's just what I was attracted to or what I was interested in at the time or I don't want to say who was around because that sounds wild, but.
It's kind of like how it was though.
Yeah, it was just kind of hey, right. I like this boy right now and this is where it's going to be or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of went there and I still had the interest in girls. It was never a thing that was gone. I just hadn't dated any girls at the time. Yeah. Like I said, when I was younger, I had messed around, but I hadn't actually dated any. Around college-ish time, I was like, yep, this is a thing. Like, I like both men and women.
Yeah.
Still never had really dated a woman, but again, had dealt with a woman.
Yeah.
And, you know, still was dealing with guys or whatever.
Yeah.
It wasn't until like later on in life that I actually like was in a full relationship with a woman.
No lie.
Yeah. So I was actually in a relationship with a man and a woman. At the same time.
Yeah.
I won't go into that a whole lot just for privacy reasons,
Yes.
but I was in a relationship with them both. It was a beautiful relationship. Enjoyed that time. And I remember having the conversation with my mom and being like, hey girl, all right, so we're going to be going to this party. You know, my girl's going to be there. My guy's going to be there. And her question was, am I going to be the oldest person there? And I was like, no, girl. And she's like, all right. So, and just kept talking. I was like, all right, great. And my dad kind of, I don't really ever recall having a conversation with my dad, to be honest with you.
That's nice though.
Like, I feel like there's been conversations about it, but it's never been like you need to tell me, because I've just never understood that.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Really?
I never understood, because I have never been like, hey, I just want to announce that I like men. Hey, I've just never understood that, because I've never heard anybody go, yeah, you know, I had to tell my parents that I liked this, like the opposite sex, and they were like just so whatever. You just don't hear that.
Yeah.
But you hear people all the time like, I had to tell my parents that I like the same sex, and I just never got it.
That just wasn't like your experience.
I just never got it.
That makes sense.
So me announcing it or like coming out to my parents wasn't really a coming out thing. It was just we were talking, that was that, and then that was kind of it.
And that was it. And
and we just kept moving forward.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people that did not have that experience.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that don't have that experience. Yeah, and it's like, it's kind of unfortunate, because I always hope that people could just be themselves.
Yeah.
And just live how they want to live. Whether you do date multiple people or you don't. Like, I know my history isn't extensive, but it doesn't change how I feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it saddens me that people are so concerned about how their families are going to take certain things that they keep that part of themselves wrapped up.
Yeah.
And it's like they can't live how they want to be because they're worried about what their families are going to say. And for a lot of people, their families do put them out or give them shit for it, which is like so hard to hear, because it's like, damn, this is your child, or this is your this is your loved one. You should love them no matter what the situation is. Like, and why does it matter?
Yeah, no, seriously. I never understand that.
I've never got it.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why I think even growing up, I wasn't like, I need to announce this. Like, I just was just like, hey.
Yeah.
I think that's why, because I didn't understand.
Yeah.
But I say all that to say, that was my experience.
Yeah.
It was later on, like in life, where it was even a conversation between my parents and I, but it just wasn't a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's wild. I have a friend who was actually kicked out of his house.
I know a lot of people that has been their story.
It's like really sad.
I have friends that are like that. They had to pretty much rebuild their families with friends or others because they couldn't be themselves.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
Or like worse, like they some really sad situations.
Some really sad. I mean, there's a lot. Like, a lot of kids get displaced from homes because of that, because they come out to their parents and their parents are like religious or homophobic or whatever, and it's just like, it's really sad to see.
Which always blows me,
that's the thing.
Because you know how families can be, and families can have some wild ass secrets. Especially some very harmful secrets.
100%.
And we'll ignore all of those crazy ass secrets and be like, oh, but my son or daughter is gay. Or my son or daughter is this. Wild? And you're like, but we got a whole murderer in the family. Like, what do you mean?
And it's like, what are your fucking priorities? Like, what is
concerned about the wrong shit?
Exactly, 100%.
Girl.
Concerned about the wrong shit. Because it's wild. Like, why is that such a, like, you know, Aunt Betty is over here sleeping with, you know, Uncle Sam, and Uncle Sam is over here trying to sleep with this person, and they all actually related. And it's like, whoa, hang on a second.
Nobody want to talk about that?
But no, Mama's really concerned about the fact that her son might be into dresses or something. You know what I mean? Like,
it's wild. It's so wild to me.
Leave it alone.
It's so wild to me, and it always makes me upset to hear these things. And just to see people's experiences. I know most people's experiences are not good.
No, it's not.
And that's what's so sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
How was it for you?
Not good.
Yeah.
It was not a good experience. I did not get kicked out of my house, but I got a lot of shame for it. So I primarily only dated girls. I only dated girls almost all throughout high school. I think probably by the time I was in like 10th grade is when I started like openly dating guys. I liked guys, but I was afraid of guys when I was when I was a kid, I was afraid of boys. And I started dating boys, but secretly. I was still presenting as a lesbian. I was very much a lesbian. I mean, in middle school, I created an LGBTQ, well, at the time it was just LGBT club, but I helped facilitate that and created in my middle school. I was very much gay. I walked around with pride flags. I mean, I was very much like representing as a fucking lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother didn't know that though. And my best friend at the time,
Your friend.
best friend at the time. Wink.
Right.
She stayed the night at my house, and we fell asleep snuggling, and my mom saw it. And my mom, I guess, always suspected that I was gay. She used to tell my family members all the time that I was going to be gay and, I was going to be a lesbian and all this other stuff. But my family is actually, my mom's side of the family, well, my dad's side of the family a little bit too, but my mom's side of the family is not very accepting of that stuff. It was very much this is just a phase, or whatever, and they would say shit like that to me. When my mom found out, and I asked her not to tell nobody in the family because I wanted to be the one to do it myself, well, homegirl decided to tell everybody in the family. And everybody shamed me, and everybody called me a carpet muncher, and everybody called me a dyke, and everybody called me names, and I was the brunt of the joke, and it was a lot of shame, a lot of shame. And then I also felt a lot of shame from the gay community for also liking men. So I never told anybody that at the time, I didn't know what pansexual was. So at the time, I would say I was bisexual, but I got a lot of shame from the gay community too.
For saying you were bi?
For saying I was bi, because in the gay community at the time, I think it's a little different now, but in the gay community at the time, saying you were bisexual just meant you were a slut. You were just greedy is what I was called. The boys wanted me to be bisexual because they wanted to have a whole threesome with another girl.
Right.
The whole whatever.
Right.
And then the girls would be like, oh, you're just greedy. You just want all the things.
Yeah.
So I felt a lot of shame. I felt a lot of shame with it. I felt I had to hide a lot. If I dated a guy, I was all of a sudden straight. I didn't really have an identity with it. It wasn't until I got probably in when I was 17 is when I found out what pansexual was. Because I didn't just date cis men and cis women. I dated cis men, cis women, trans women. I dated people. Liked people. And pansexual is where you like people. You just like them as a person. The sex doesn't matter.
Right.
Non-binary wasn't really a thing back then. I mean, it wasn't anything that was really known.
Right.
But I'm sure I dated people who were non-binary too. But it was just it was kind of a wild journey for me on trying to figure that out because there was so much shame for liking both or liking everybody.
Yeah.
And then I got to a point where you were describing it, you were saying, I wasn't the type to be out and about. I felt I had to be out and about because I had to be I'm a lesbian, fuck you, I'll fight you if anything, or, I'm bisexual, fuck you. I had to be very aggressive about it because I didn't feel support from anybody, and the only person that was going to support me was me. And so I felt like I had to be that way. But yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of shame. I felt like there was a lot of shame, from all sides. You would think the gay community would be hella supportive of, you are bisexual, but at the time it wasn't like that.
Yeah, I do understand that. Because I did hear it a little bit. Because I used to be yeah, I'm bi, and they'd be like, no, you're not, and I'd be like, okay.
Exactly.
But the thing was I was just you could feel that way. I don't know. I just been weird about life. I don't know. I've always just been all right, whatever, and then just kept doing my thing because it's that doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I know what you're talking about because there was a period of time where it was just yeah, you can't be both. You can't do that. And it's just but I can.
But yeah, I can do whatever I want. I think I was just more out with that I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. Yeah. And you're going to tell me what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
And that's literally how I live my life. I mean, I had I would try to have conversations with my grandparents and be do you think I would choose to be this way? If I could choose, I would choose to be straight because the world accepts being straight. I wouldn't choose to be, also attracted to women, cis or trans. I wouldn't choose to be, attracted to these other people other than a cis male, because that's where it's easiest. And, I don't have a choice, because everybody would tell me that it was just a choice. You're just making this choice. You're just making this choice. This lifestyle of yours isn't conducive, to the rest of the family, or, this phase. I'm in my 30s and I still love women.
Right.
I absolutely still love women.
Right.
And I'm just like, it was, to them, it was supposed to be a phase. So
something you would just like get over, and then that would be that. And it's like, no,
I still like pussy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And some dick.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just like, it was wild. It was wild to kind of go through that and try to have that conversation with them, but they were not open and receptive at all.
Yeah.
My mother would be, depending upon her mood, but my mother's a totally different breed of type of person. So, I didn't have that support.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people go through that. I was lucky enough to not be kicked out.
Right.
And be displaced from my home. But I definitely got a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I got a lot of shit, and I was made fun of a lot for it by my family.
Dang, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened to you, girl. I'm definitely sorry to hear that.
Shit happens.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
That sucks, though.
I mean, it wasn't the best.
Yeah.
But what's wild, though, is I did find my family and other people.
Yeah.
I built my own support system and my own network, and I'm, I met other lesbians, and I met other bisexuals, and I met other pansexuals and non-binary people, and, stuff like that. And I've created my own family.
Right.
So it was nice to be able to find that and build that for myself.
Yeah. I think it's amazing that you did that, and I'm glad that you stayed strong throughout the whole process, because something that I've noticed, partly because of where we work, you see these kids that don't have those support systems.
Yep, 100%.
And they're so young that they haven't even given themselves the chance to create those environments and those types of families. And so to them, it's like, this is it.
Yeah.
There's nowhere else to go from here. And it's always so sad to see that, because it's like, I don't know. I guess I've never thought about it, because that wasn't my situation. And honestly, if my parents felt some type of way, they ain't never tell me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've never heard about it. Nobody said anything to me about it.
I feel like I know your parents well enough to know, like, if they felt some type of way, they would have fucking told
you.
Oh,
they would have told me.
They would 100% said something.
But I also know that they're like, you're just kind of a free spirit. Like, you just do what you want. And I'd be like, yeah, I do. And I just be like,
floating around.
I just be floating around figuring it out. Like,
100%.
Sometimes at a horrible cost, but I just be figuring it out sometimes.
It's all about learning.
It is. And so,
learning.
I mean, if they did feel some type of way, they have not said anything about it. But it's just like, I'm grateful that has not been a thing.
Yeah.
It's funny. I did have a situation fairly recently where somebody was like, well, what would you consider yourself? And I was like, well, in the past, I probably would have considered myself bi. And they were like, well, how are you bi? You've never even dated a woman. And I was like, yeah, I have.
Yeah.
No, I have. Like, I don't, like, what do you mean? They're like, oh, I didn't know that. I'm like, yeah, I don't.
But also, can we just talk about why the fuck would you assume? Why would you assume?
I don't know. Like
I'm know every detail of my life from the time I was born?
Yeah, it was just kind of like,
whoever the fuck you are.
It was just kind of like, okay, well.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was very interesting. So I was just like, I just wish that more people were more accepting of just people being who they are.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I don't get it. Mm-hmm. I think the reason why I don't get it is because, like I was saying earlier, you don't ever hear anybody coming out to their family as straight. You just do not.
You don't, because naturally that's what you're supposed to be, because that's what weird. Quote unquote God intended you to be.
But it's straight. Like, I feel like in the same sense, that should be the same for everything.
I think so too. I agree.
Like, I shouldn't have to come out about shit. I should just be able to live my life and be like, hey, this is my girlfriend, or hey, this is my boyfriend, or hey, this is both my girlfriend and my boyfriend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't feel like it should be this big like thing. It should be like, all right, so do you want tacos or do you want burgers tonight? Like, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
And move on.
100%. No, I
But
agree. I don't know why it's such a big fucking deal, but I think like as we get older, I think like millennials are becoming like they're more open with their kids and like what their kids and how their kids are having to come out, or like their kids don't feel like they necessarily need to come out, and and then you have the Gen Zers who are coming in who are starting to have kids of their own, and it's just like, okay, here it is, like this is what's happening, like they are starting to be more accepting as opposed to like our parents who were from, or like at least my parents were from the, well, it's going to be weird, from the 60s and the 80s. Oh no, 60s and the 70s. My mother was born in the 70s. So from the 60s and the 70s, and like that was, not a thing. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't accepted back then. To be gay was like to be.
It was like kind of, yeah.
It was also related to AIDS with the AIDS pandemic, and all of that going on. So it's just, it's different times, and it's changing. It's changing. Everything's changing and evolving, and it's going to keep changing and evolving, and people are going to become more accepting, and eventually it's not even going to fucking matter.
Yeah.
There's really not. It's going to be, people going to come out, and nobody's going to have to say like, hey, I'm gay, or
yeah.
I'm not.
I just think of the friends, because for some reason, all of my entire life, I've always had a gay best friend. I don't care. Same. Always. Like, same. I have always, since a very young, very, very, very young age.
Yeah.
And I've always been like, this is my bestie. I know, like, it just is what it is. And it's so funny because I remember being in school and one of my friends was like, I have to tell you something. And I was like, what's going on?
Like that serious?
Yeah. And I was like, is everything okay? Like, what happened? I just don't want you to feel any type of way. And now I'm like scared because I'm just like, did you sleep with my man? Like, what's up?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, honestly, at that time, probably. Because anyway.
Keeping it moving.
But I was like, what's up? Like, are we good? And they're like, I just want to let you know that, I'm gay. And I was like,
that's it?
First of all, I've been known. Secondly, okay. So are we going out tonight or not?
Yeah.
They're like, you're not surprised? No, because I've been known. Also, who gives a fuck?
Who fucking cares?
I don't care about that.
Yeah.
First of all, you should know me better than that to know I don't care.
Yeah.
But also, like, thank you for sharing that with me. Like, I was like, thank you for letting me know and wanting to share that with me. But you didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Like,
that's wild.
You didn't have to do that.
I was not quiet about it. I was like, I love pussy. Like, I was like screaming,
pussy.
Give me that coochie. That is what I was like, girl. I was like waving that rainbow flag. I was like, that was me. That was 100% me. 100% me. I was out there. Did not give a fuck. Was ready to fist fight anybody who even tried me about it.
That is so funny.
It was wild. It was a good time. But also it's sad that I felt like I had to do that though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I should have just been able to be comfortable and chill. I feel like a lot that it's like I said, I feel like it's changing a lot.
I agree. I think it's changing quite a bit.
I even think like the terms are changing.
I agree.
Because I feel like sexuality is so fluid.
Yep, I agree.
You know what I mean? I feel like it's just it can be just what you feel in the moment, or it can be long term, or it can be, whatever. I just feel like it's so fluid, and I even think doing pansexual is a little restricting because I just feel like it doesn't necessarily need to have a label.
Exactly.
Like, the labels were so big back in the day, but I just feel like
I don't think they're needed.
No, I don't think they're really needed. Like, my name is Shelby, and I just happen to be dating this person, or
That's
I just
it.
happen to be,
that is literally
with
it.
this, whatever. I happen to be fucking this person. You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't matter because I feel like sexuality is so fluid, and nobody should be defined by it.
I agree.
Nobody should be defined by it.
I agree.
So, I mean, I just think it keeps progressing, which is hopefully, it just continues to do that and becomes more accepted.
I feel like over time, kind of like you were saying, it will just be a thing of just being like, hi, my name is this, and this is who I'm with. And it'll be that. I mean, and even I notice in today's time of how people talk about the people that they're dating is definitely more like inclusive of everybody without
100%.
it specifically being like I am dating this person who identifies as this. It's just like, this is my partner, period.
This is my partner, period.
Like, that's it.
Yeah.
And
I love that. Like, I will
too.
use that term. This is my partner.
Yeah. And it's like, you don't know. You just don't know because it's none of your fucking business.
It's really
like,
not. It is really nobody's fucking business.
I just love that because it is something that I've noticed. I was like, that's kind of dope. Like, I noticed that people are just being very like, this is my partner, period.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it's great.
I think it's beautiful.
I do too.
I think it's a really cool thing. I do like the fact that something that I've noticed recently is like people are becoming more and more open to talking about sorry, are we cool with moving away from sexuality?
Yeah.
Great. Because let's move on to sex. Because
let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about sex.
Okay.
Let's talk about sex.
You're such a fucking nerd. No, but I feel like more people are starting to become more open to actually talking about it.
Yes.
You know? And not in like a hypersexual kind of way of where it's like, oh yeah, baby.
Yeah.
You like to, gag on this dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's becoming more of just like a casual conversation, which I've always appreciated because I'm like a very sexual person and I'm very sexually open and all of that. But like, it's just becoming more, the taboo of talking about it is becoming less and less.
I agree. And I think it's dope that it is becoming more open and honest about talking about it, because a lot of people are finding out things about themselves that they didn't realize that they liked, things that they want to try, things that they've been missing and repressing.
Yes.
And I think it's super important that we are having these conversations and that people are learning things about, because there's a lot of things that people try to experience or are not experiencing and don't understand why they're not happy.
Yep.
And they think it's something completely unrelated and not realizing that a simple conversation about what you like in bed will be the game changer for you. And your partner
100%.
might like that shit too.
Facts. Which is great when you find that out.
Yes.
See, like in my marriage, I'm just going to put this shit on blast because it is what it is.
Say it.
But in my marriage, I was absolutely unsatisfied. 100%. I even went to the doctor and was like, why am I not getting wet? Like, why is nothing happening down there? I was like, I think there's something wrong with me. Legit thought there was something physically wrong with me.
Yeah.
And my doctor was like, oh, maybe it's psychosomatic. And I was like, no, it's not that. But it's crazy. Like, I mean, for me, I repressed a lot of shit because prior to my marriage, I was into some very freaky shit. Like, I was all about experimenting because, again, I thought sex was just fun and flowy and it's just adventurous and you could do this, and safe sex was, always where it's at. But then I repressed a lot of that. I repressed a lot of it because in my mind I was just drinking and all of that, because during that time I was drinking and doing drugs. So I repressed a lot of that and was like, oh, that was just me on drugs and drinking. And then I want to say probably within the last like maybe 3 years is where I was like, nah, I really like this kinky
I like
shit.
This shit. Yeah,
I really like this kinky shit. I want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to do that again.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately my partner wasn't always up for it, but that's why I am where I am today. But, it's cool when you have a partner and they're like, you have that conversation. And they're like, yeah, I want to try that too.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean?
No, I do know what you mean. I do know exactly what you mean. I remember being in a situation years ago where I had a conversation. I was like, hey, I want to try this. And they were like, we can try all types of stuff. And I was like, say fucking less.
Yes.
Like, and
I'm always about it.
I love it because it's like, you just never know. And sex can be it can be fun, but it can be so beautiful, and it can be like, it just can be great. It feels great. Like,
absolutely.
You just have a good time. But it's like when you explore some of the things that you might be into, or finding out the things that you thought you might be into, and you're like, hey, I don't really fuck with that. Like I thought, But having somebody that's down to try it with you, you're like, damn, this is kind of dope. Like,
with no judgment.
That's the thing.
That's where it's at, is like no judgment.
Yeah.
Like I felt, I have in the past felt judgment for things that I'm like interested in and things that I like. And, you know, even today, if I have a conversation with some people, I mean, I don't give a fuck about the judgment today, but they'll be like, really? You like that? And I'm like, fuck yeah, I like that. Like, you never tried it? Do you want to try it?
Don't knock it till you try it.
We could try it. But no, but it's like, I mean, I think that's great that you were able to find somebody that was like 100% down to like really just try some shit out. Mm-hmm. Because that is a great time.
Girl.
That is a great time. When your partner is on the same level as you sexually, that is like a whole nother ball game.
Yeah.
A whole nother ball game.
Yeah.
I'm like spit in my mouth.
I'm
just like, do it. Which kind of brings me to my next thing. But like, what would be, I guess, what is one of your most prominent kinks? Like, what is something that you...
So it's so funny because there's a few that are prominent, but I haven't actually got to try them completely yet. For a couple of reasons, but but one of the things that I really like, I am a huge fan of choking. I absolutely love to be choked. Mm-hmm. Love it, love it, love it.
Blood choke or air choke?
Air.
Yes.
Blood.
Oh no, I'm blood choke. Sorry,
I like blood often, but like every now and again, I like a little air. But I noticed, depending on the situation, air has been winning more than the blood.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a difference, y'all, in airflow and blood flow choking.
Absolutely.
There's a huge difference in how it is done, how it feels, what happens.
Yes.
Don't do nothing wild and try to go too hard, and don't forget to tap and you pass out on that shit. Don't do that. Or do it. But
I was like, that's happened where I've come close, where I was like, I'm almost there.
Yeah, you can start to see spots. You're like,
Oopsie.
But that is the one that's probably been the most active.
Yeah.
As of late. Also, one of the things that I really have been wanting to try more of, which I haven't gotten really a chance to do, is being like tied down. Ooh. So I have like these straps that go underneath my bed, hands and right, hands and feet, and I haven't really got to like explore them fully, because the last couple of times have not been. They haven't been down for that. They just haven't been down for it.
I get it.
Which I'm like, totally get it. Understand it's a sensitive situation. I was like, I don't mind.
Yeah.
If you're okay with it.
Yeah.
And, you know, that conversation is still being worked on. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Listen, I understand.
But another thing is, which I found out recently that I liked, that I didn't think I would like because of my past, like being flogged or paddled a little bit.
So you like the paddle and the flogger?
I do.
Okay, because I'm a belt girl. But so you like to be flogged or paddled, either
flogged
one.
Or paddled. Flogged or paddled. It doesn't even have to be flogged or paddled, but like even if it's just a
like
really
a
hard spank,
yeah,
like a super hard, like just go in, just lay in. Love that.
Yeah,
absolutely love it.
Yeah,
love it, love it, love it.
Yes.
I don't know, something about the vibration. I'd be like, oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. I'm a belt girl.
Okay.
I like the belt.
Okay.
I definitely like to be hit by the belt, and I like to be hit very hard. But so the thing is with me is I have to really like to do these things. I have to really trust the person.
Absolutely.
They have to know what they're doing, not in like a deep sense, but you have to be able to at least know like my tells and when I'm okay and when I'm not okay, and you know, abide by the, you know, safe word and all of that. And I like RAC, which is like risk associated consensual kink, I think, which is where it can kind of get a little more riskier. And I like CNC, so consensual non-consent, 100%. But I'm definitely into the belt. I think my biggest kink would be, I have three.
Okay.
I have 3. Sorry, because now I'm like, my kink brain is going right now, and she's like, yeah, tell them everything. Get it out there. So I like degradation.
Okay.
100%. Love to be degraded.
Okay.
But also in the same sense, I want to be praised.
Okay. Yes.
You know? Tell me, call me a whore, but call me a very good whore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like give me a little bit of mix of both.
Yeah.
And breeding. I have a breeding kink.
Oh, girl, a breeding kink.
I have a breeding kink.
When I tell you, okay, listen, I need to look in the camera for this.
She got to look you dead in the eye when she says
because
it.
a breeding kink has almost gotten me into some trouble.
Because it's like in the moment you're like, just do it.
And I'd be like, don't listen to me for real. Do not listen to me for real. But also go ahead and do it.
Get in there.
But don't. But yes. But please don't.
It's like I want the breeding without the breeding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
I want that without the consequences.
Girl, I don't know how I forgot about that one, but that one.
I think that's probably like my number one, and then it would go degradation and praise.
That breeding kink.
Oh yes, no, 100%. We gotta stop and take a moment.
Girl, I love that one. Even still,
too.
I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah,
What you
even
about
though I
to
can't get pregnant.
The risk is gone, but like
It's
still
gone,
do
but
it.
Still, my brain is like, yeah.
It's still risky a little
It's
bit.
still a little risky.
Girl, that mess is so funny.
I love it.
I think
we got to put a disclaimer on this, by the way, because I got some family members that be listening to it. But honestly, I really don't give a shit. You're about to learn all about me. You can go ahead and listen to it. But we got to put a disclaimer on this so that we can at least let your mom and dad know.
Girl, y'all about to hear a whole bunch about your daughter.
No, but I mean, anyways, the breeding kink was where it's at for me. I have definitely gotten into some trouble when it comes to that.
Girl.
Like just being in the heat of the moment and just being like,
Go ahead and do it. And I'd be like, literally right after, I'd be like,
fuck.
Thank you for not listening to me.
Yeah.
Thank you for having enough sense to be like,
I gotta say some men have had some really good sense. And they have been like, absolutely, fuck
well,
that.
even the ones that be like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. You'd be like, are you really? They'd be like, yeah. And then they'd be like, no, I didn't do that shit. I'd be like, thank you.
Thank you.
But thanks for playing into my shit.
Right?
Like,
I like that. You're a real one for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, thank you for not doing it, but thank you.
Yes.
Girl.
Yes. God, I love me a good breeding king. I would even like do it and pretend to do it like when I was with an ex-girlfriend of mine and she was using like a strap-on. I would do the same. I would say the same thing.
Yeah.
Just because the idea of it and like saying it and acting it out is fucking.
It's just something.
Turns
I don't
me the
know.
fuck on.
Something about it. Dangerous as fuck when you can actually potentially get pregnant.
100%.
But like,
so grateful.
Oof.
I cannot get pregnant anymore. Girl. So grateful. Not that I'm out here having a bunch of people shoot up the club, but
girl,
I'm
take that shit outside.
Girl. I ain't got time. I ain't got time or the energy. But it has been, but yeah, I guess that would be like definitely be a big.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that one up because I definitely forgot about that,
Right?
which is so crazy in itself.
Choking is huge for me too.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm into that like I am into that. I probably need to.
You ain't need to check it. You don't need to think about it.
No,
Absolutely
I just really enjoy it. I just feel like something about the tightness and the restrictiveness just does something to my lady bits.
I think for me, it's the dominating.
It's the dominating
Being
part of
dominated.
it, but I also that is something that I also really love, and it's kind of like I like being dominated, but I also and I love being submissive, but I also I love dominating.
Yeah.
So I guess it just really depends on like the
It's
mood.
like a power dynamic.
It is a power
like the
dynamic.
Power exchange.
I do.
The power exchange is great. I'm actually very submissive with particular men.
Yeah.
With women, absolutely not. I am almost always a top. I am almost always a little more dominant, even on the bordering of my little sadistic side can come out. So like I want to choke, I want to spank, I want to do those things with women. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know why. I mean, I do. We ain't got time to talk about that in this episode. But I do feel like that I'm very toppy when it comes to women, and I'm very much, for some men, submissive, and I'm real submissive. Like I'll do whatever you want.
Girl, something that I didn't realize that I liked is like certain little names.
Oof.
Just get me. They just get me. And I'm just like, damn, why is that even a thing? I'm like, yeah, I kind of like hearing that.
I wonder if this is like for most women and just women don't talk about it as much because I feel like it's pretty hush hush. Because like good girl, like call me a good girl. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. You know, call me baby girl. 100%.
Little one. If I hear a little one, bitch, little bird.
Yes. Well, I've never been called little, but little one, 100%.
I've never been called little bird or little one, but I read it and I was like, oh my God. Little? I was like, I like the sound of that.
Yes. My previous situationship would call me little one, and it was everything.
Yeah, something about it.
There's something that like completely changes in me. Yeah. Where I no longer, like, I'm 100% in my feminine energy. Like, I'm not in this masculine energy where I feel like I need to take control. I'm just like,
if I hear
whatever.
If I hear baby girl or good girl, it unlocks a whole level of like, I just be like, yes! Like Beetlejuice when he's like, I'm here! Yes! I'd be like, let's go!
I know, me too. Me too, because I'm telling you, there's like this switch of being, you know, having to constantly be, because I feel like you and me are very like, we're very independent women. We get our shit done. We do our thing. We're very much in our masculine energy like 90% of the time. Yeah. You know what I mean? So when we are allowed to, like, I feel like that those pet names allow me to switch into that feminine energy. I agree. Be like, okay, I can be small. I can be soft. I can be feminine. I don't have to be this bitch that's out here getting the shit done and doing the things that I need to do. I can just be soft and feminine. I could be baby girl. I could be the good girl. I could be the little one, you know? And I absolutely love being able to get into that mindset because that shit gets me all sorts of turned on.
Girl, listen.
All sorts of turned on. And I'm curious. I'm so curious. And I want to hear from y'all. I really do want to hear from the other women. Yeah. Please, please, please. We say this all the time, but please comment. Please message. Please let us know. I would love to hear what y'all think about it. Like, if you also feel that way too. If you have little pet names that you like, you know, because there might be some pet names out there that we've never heard that we actually might like too. So go ahead and help a girl out.
There was a list on Instagram running around. Lie. I am not lying. I was like, yeah, I actually like the sound of that. I do not remember all of the names on it, but I was like, I like the sound of that. I have to try to find it again because that thing was so good.
I would love to hear it.
Yeah. But yeah, like what you were saying, Shobes, if you guys have names that you like and use or like to hear, guys, if you have names that you like to use like to hear or like to whatever, share that with us. Yes. It'll be one of the poll questions on Spotify. All these questions, by the way, are only on Spotify. Yeah. So the polls are on Spotify. All the questions are on Spotify. Those are the only places that you can answer those things. You can always leave us a comment. Yep. Definitely you can do that.
Obviously, we're on YouTube. Yeah, so we are on YouTube. There, or you can even private message, like just DM us on Instagram.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, interact and let us know, like, what are some things 100%. That you guys like? Also, we can only include one question. So if you want to tell us what your kinks are, you're going to have to send that to send a DM because it won't be on the question on Spotify.
No, 100%. So, I mean, please, we'd love to hear it because I just think learning about other people's, like, kinks and, like, sexual interests is always interesting to me. Yeah. Because I'm always like, wow, like, I didn't know that was a thing, or like, oh, that's not really my thing, but like, what makes it your thing? Yeah. You know, like, I want to know about the psychological aspect of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I just like the fact that it's more open now.
I just think it's so funny, though, that I'm thinking about some of the ones that you said, and I have a couple of homegirls that are very much into the degradation kink. Yeah. And I think it is hilarious. 'Cause I'm like, dang, I might be missing something because a lot of y'all love it down. And I'm like,
really do. Call me the dirtiest, foulest names. I don't care. Like, you can call me stupid. You can call it, but again, it has to be in course. It has to be in a setting where it's like, I really trust the person. I have feelings for the person. I know that person has feelings for me. Like, I can't just go off and go, like, be with some, you know, Joe Schmo and he call me a whore because I'm going to knock his fucking teeth in.
Because you're going to be like, who you calling a whore?
I'll make you my whore. Like, you know what I mean? I would be getting in there. But it's got to be with the right person and it has to feel really safe. Yeah. Safety for me is huge.
Safety is huge. And I feel like with a lot of the kinks that I feel like we're both into, those are ones that you do have to feel super safe with somebody. But you also have to have somebody that is going to give you aftercare afterwards.
Aftercare is huge. Because, thank you for bringing that up.
Yes, because it is super important. Yes. Because if you do not have some form of aftercare, whether you're just got your ass beat or you've been choked like to shit or slapped or called a fucking stupid ass whore or some craziness, you're gonna feel like shit afterwards.
Absolutely.
So you have to have somebody that you do trust, because that is able to give you those cuddles or rub your ass or give you ice or whatever the fuck that you need. Like, you have to have somebody that's gonna be able to be there and just make you feel like, hey,
absolutely,
this was just for that. This is not how I feel about you. This is not a reflection of
yes, which is where that praise comes in for me, because
yeah.
I'm like, I need to hear that I did good. I need to hear, especially if like I'm with somebody and it's like a really rough session.
Yeah.
I need to hear afterwards, like, you did so good, you know, you, even if we're not at the stage of like the I love yous or whatever, but just like, you did great, like, it's gonna be okay, I'm here, don't worry, you know, just like very reassuring stuff. Like, when I got my ass whooped, the last time I got my ass whooped, it's been a long time, but he like put coconut oil and like rubbed and like just kind of made it feel better. So it was very like a lot of care, a lot of love after. I need that. You can't just like beat the shit out of me and be like, all right, deuces.
Yeah,
like,
or go to bed, you'd be like, excuse me.
I would literally dissociate. I would dissociate and have like a whole mental breakdown.
That
like,
would have me, that would have me in tears, because I'd just be like, damn, you don't fuck with me at all.
You don't fucking like me like that.
Yeah.
You just used and abused me, literally.
Yeah, and that's exactly how it will feel if you do not have somebody that is, I mean, and it doesn't even have to be any like grand thing. Like, it just could be as simple as a hug, a cuddle, a just, you know, just kind of like skin to skin contact after that time, or maybe like a slight little rub or a back rub or whatever, just something.
Forehead kisses.
Some kisses.
Girl, forehead kisses be having
First
me
of all,
melted. Kiss me on the forehead.
I don't
don't care
what's going on. A forehead kiss will change the trajectory of my entire day. I can have the biggest attitude of my fucking life, and if somebody gives me a forehead kiss, I'm gonna be like, it's really not that bad.
It's really okay.
Like, what do you want? Thanks.
Just
That nothing makes me feel more feminine than a forehead kiss.
Yes.
I don't even know why.
I know.
I don't like that shit. I be wanting to have an attitude sometimes. As soon as it's on my head, I be like, yes. I'm not mad anymore.
Okay, it's fine. You know, you just get so small.
You do, and I hate that shit. I mean, I like it because it's cute, but it's
Yeah.
also like, fuck, man, who am I?
Yeah, it's like, how the fuck do you have that power over me to where you could just switch me from masculine to feminine so fast?
But I love that.
I do too.
I love being able to be around somebody that I'm able to be in my full, like, a good feminine energy with, and can just be that and take that break from the shit that I have to do on a regular day-to-day basis, and I'm able to just be feminine.
100%.
Especially because, you know, I don't really feel the most feminine most days. Like,
I know sometimes we're not able to do that on a daily basis because of the work that we do, and just because of just what we have to be on our daily, on our you know, day-to-day type shit. So
it's nice to be that.
It is. And I'd like to thank those who have allowed me to be in that energy. It has been few and far in between, but I appreciate the ones that do have given me that to be able to experience it.
Same.
So,
samesies.
But anyways, we want to hear from y'all. We would love to, you know, hear about your kinks. We'd love to hear about, you know, if you've had any experiences, you know, coming out. Stuff like that. I mean, we want to hear those stories. I mean, we can relate, or we know people that can relate, or anything like that. Or if you just don't fucking like us, go ahead and tell us that too. We just want to hear from y'all. I mean, either way.
I don't want to hear from y'all if y'all don't like us.
I mean, I don't give a shit.
I mean, honestly, yeah, true. But keep that shit to yourself. Why waste your keystrokes?
Because the keystrokes is what gives us the views, girl.
Fuck yeah. Go ahead and send that criticism. Please.
Send that little shit. I don't care.
I do not mind.
No qualms here. But yeah, so you can hit us up on Instagram. You can hit us up on TikTok. You can hit us up, you know, pretty much anywhere, honestly, at this point.
Yeah, we're all over the place.
Yep. And tune in. Every single Tuesday. You had anything else to add, D?
I don't. You already did our socials.
Yeah.
So, yeah, guys.
We love
Until
y'all.
next time.
We'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.